Well, hi there, this is Gina. Welcome to my channel. Today I thought we would have a little play making some clusters and making them on labels. Here are the labels that I used. They come like this. And I just started having a play, and this is the first one I made, and I thought it turned out so cute that I would make a video. So I came up to make the video and decided just to play some more. So I made this one and I think they are adorable. And so this time I'm like, let's make the video. And here we are. So I hope you stick around. As I panned up, you can see I have just lots of little bits around me. This is a perfect scrap buster. Our canvas is small. If you have just little tiny bits of pretty paper, this is a perfect opportunity to use them. One of the things I've been using are these laser cutouts. And I notice, especially on this one, there are a lot of really just gorgeous images, but they were too long to fit on my label if I did them horizontally. So I thought this would be a good opportunity to do something a little different and make vertical clusters, and that way hopefully I can use some of these gorgeous images. I also have a couple of sticker sheets. You could just doodle. You don't have to use anything fancy, but these are some of the materials that are right around my desk, and there's a good chance I'll be pulling from these. This is how I start. The first thing I do is stamp. And so I have a couple of small stamps that I think I will use. And you can see that, usually there's so much on top of them, you don't normally see a whole lot of the background. Except this one, I loved how the rose looked, so I intentionally made this one with fairly sparse materials. There's not a whole lot on it because I really wanted that image to come through. But generally, it's pretty much covered. So stamping can be great to use as a background. I'm going to put this on an angle because that's easier for me to stamp. And I think I'll use the Archival Ink. It is permanent and waterproof. I don't think I'll be adding water, but just in case it should get wet in the future, my ink won't run. So I'm just going to add a little bit of ink around and just lay it down. And I think I'll fill in some of the gaps with this little stamp. All right, kind of went crazy on that one, but that's okay. Put as much or as little as you like. You can tell the difference in you don't see the stark white background. So to get rid of that, I'm going to use the Distress Ink Antique Linen. The next layer, I like to add texture. Cheesecloth is probably the easiest and one of the best ways to add texture. And here I have this little bag, and it's got some that I've dyed. It doesn't take a whole lot because you can stretch it out, and a little bit can cover quite a large area. And I think to do this, I will turn it horizontally. I'm going to use my glue stick, and the glue stick seems to work pretty well in keeping the stuff down. There we go. Oh, nice. Now for the third layer, I usually add some paper. You might want to have an idea of what your focal point will be for your top layer. So I know I want to use some of these really gorgeous images. So I'm going to go ahead and pull those out. I've punched out all of my main focal points. And now I just kind of want to take a peek and get an idea of what I want to use. And I do have 3, which is great, so I can come up with maybe multiple ideas as I'm kind of poking around and seeing what I want to do for this one. I like to use this long one this time. I love these off-white images, and I definitely want to use them, but for this one, I think this is how I'm going to go. I get out my trusty little glue book. I'm going to use my art glitter glue. Label. There we go. And I'm okay if it sticks off the edges just a little bit. I don't want it way off, but it can protrude just a little bit. Since this image is rather pale and in the background, so to speak, in other words, it doesn't stand out really well, I do want to add something with a little more bold color. And this little butterfly, I think will do the trick. Let me get the little notches off of them though. Now you can use just images, or you can add little words or phrases as well. And I think I will add a little something. For that, I'm going to go to my sticker sheet because it has some really small words, which is perfect. You could go a little bigger if you were working on a horizontal label, but vertical label really does not give you very much space at all. Let's go. I'm gonna put just a little bit of vintage photo around the edge. And I think that's going to be it for that one. Okay, let's make another one. Now I'm wondering if I use one of these paler flowers. Oh look, that really shows up nicely. Okay. So this is a bigger piece, but I really like the look of this one better. Although it doesn't cover up as much. I don't know that I need it to. I think I'll try to complement this piece with some paper. I think I've got the answer. I had this sitting on my desk and it's a little bit of washi tape. I want it to be a background player. I don't want it to be the main focus. So I used some vintage photo, and then I have this dauber hair that had blue on it. I believe this is Faded Jeans. Distress Ink, Oxide, so I thought I would just kind of set it back a little bit and play around and see if this works. I think that helps. I feel like I need a little bit more. I did find one other tiny little piece. I don't need all of this though, but I think I need just a little bit more up here. So, all right, I think that will do. So I'm gonna use my glue stick. That should hold it down. Now I just have to figure out the placement. I'm back, and I say I'm back because I had to stop recording for just a bit because I got a little lost on this one. I was having a hard time coming up with a composition I liked and needed to try a few different things before I could make up my mind, and I think I finally have. I'm going to add 2 flowers, and I'll need to cut the bottom part off. But I like that. So this is where I landed and I feel pretty good about it. So I'm going to glue it down. Got those glued down and I made this little saying. I had these sheets. I've had them for years and years. I believe they were Tim Holtz. I don't know what you call them. The packaging is long gone, but the words and phrases are small, so I thought it would be something good to pull from. It says side by side. The laser cut stickers are a little thicker than these, so I felt like I needed to put something behind it to make it a little stronger. I found another little word. It says to keep, so now it says to keep side by side. I think it turned out really well. Let's make one more. So I'm going to use some regular old vintage photo cheesecloth and put it down. We'll turn it sideways again. When it comes to gluing down cheesecloth, glue stick works great. And just kind of spread it about. So for the next step, I think I'll just use paper. And I have plenty of glue still wet down there, so I think I can just set this on and it might stick. I want to use just this single little rose as the main focal point. Maybe add some greenery down here at the bottom. So, yeah, there's not quite enough glue left. I'm going to need to go ahead and add glue to this one. I think I might add a little Distress ink around the edges. The image itself already has that faded look, so I think adding a little bit of darkness on the edges, a little bit of brown, I think will really play into that aged look. Yeah, and it helps it pop out a little bit more. And I will go back to my sticker sheet for my sentiment. And there we go. That one was quick. I really like the variety. This one got kind of complicated in that there were a few more steps added as I had to make the little backing. And it took me a little longer to get the composition together. But overall, I think they turned out really, really cute. Clusters are a great way to bust scraps and maybe use up some items. I've had these sticker sheets and the laser cutouts for a long time, but this was a great way to utilize them. I actually found another sticker sheet and another laser cutout, so I may go ahead and make a few more of these. If I make more before I post this video, then make sure you stick around for the end of the video, as I always show pictures, and I'll make sure to include pictures of any additional clusters that I make. It's the next day, and I thought, let me go ahead and just show you the other one that I made. I made 3 more, and I really thought they turned out cute. This was the first one. I really like that. And this was the second one that I made. It was cute. For this one, I used a rather thick piece of lace, and I think that turned out really well. And here is the last one. It goes a bit off the page, so to speak, but I think it turned out really cute. Here are the ones that I already made. Here's the one we made together, and there's the extra one that I made. I hope this gave you some good inspiration on how to make some clusters. Making them on labels is just a great and easy way to have them at the ready for whenever you need to add a little cluster to any of your projects. If you're still here, thank you so much for watching until the end. I do very much appreciate it. I'd love to hear from you, and I want to know which one is your favorite. That's a toughie for me. Which individual one, or maybe just which collection? If you make these, I would love to see them. Please tag me on Instagram. I would love to see how yours come out. I appreciate the like and the subscribe, comment, and share. Those are all simple ways to really help my channel, and I thank you so much for those of you who take the time to do that. That's so appreciated. Well, that's going to be it for this one. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.